Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to make this really cool DIY fishing rod holder for your whitewater raft or cataraft frame. This thing will clamp onto any NRS frame. I'm going to show you everything, the complete parts list, everything you need, what hardware you need. I'm going to show you how to build this for only $65. That's way cheaper than anything you can find online. If you like this, stick around. I'm going to show you how to build this fishing rod holder.
Good one? Yeah. What's up?
Alright guys, the inspiration from this actually came from Headwaters Marine, who makes a really killer and nice fishing rod holder, but it does cost a lot of money. It costs $350 plus shipping. There's not a lot of other options out there on the market, which is why I decided to make my own. Okay, let's get right into it. What do you need to build this fishing rod holder? You can see it's two pieces. It holds 4 rods. It clamps down on the frame. You can move it around. Here's the supplies that you need to build this rod holder. You really only need 3 large items and then some hardware. Starting with these clamps. These clamps are very specific to fit a pipe outer diameter of 1.625 inches. That is the standard size for NRS rafting frames, or Rocky Mountain rafts, same size, 1.625. Then you need some sort of a rod holder. These are the ones I chose and they work perfect for what I'm doing. They hold 4 rods. They actually have locks you can remove if you want, but these are the ones I chose. I really like them. They fit perfectly. But you need something between those two parts as a stabilizing base, and that's why I have these pieces of aluminum. They're 16 inches long. They're 1/8 inch thick, and what we're going to do is basically shape these and form these to the size we need. So those are the supplies you need. Aside from those 3 things, all you need is about $7 worth of hardware from the hardware store, and you are going to be on your way to having nice new rod holders.
Okay. First part of this project is cutting these down to the size we're going to use them, giving them rounded edges, and filing and drilling holes. Sorry. So, let me get some workspace here. We need a marker to trace this out. Okay. So first I just need to cut it to length, and then we're going to work on the rounded edges. So I need to go get a hacksaw so I can hacksaw this. Alright, so the first thing is we're going to hacksaw a straight line, hopefully. And then we're going to work on our rounded edges. I should also put on a new hacksaw blade to speed the process. I haven't changed this in a while, so here we go. You know, something I learned when I was younger in auto shop is hacksaw blades only cut in one direction. They're only supposed to cut forward. So when you put a new hacksaw blade on, you want to put it on so the teeth are facing forward. So if you didn't know that, now you do. I assume this will cut much faster. There we go. Okay. So now, should just be barely bigger than this. Perfect. Alright, so now you can see it's just barely larger, longer lengthwise. And now we're going to work on rounding the edges. So what I'm going to do is use a coin. I don't know which one yet, but yeah, quarter looks good. Yeah, let's do quarter. I'm going to use a quarter to round the edges. I'm going to make a mark. Good enough. There we go. Alright, now that we have our edges, we're just going to file those off. Use a smaller, finer file. So to clean a file, you just use a wire brush. Looks pretty good, actually. Alright, well, for the most part, the edges are rounded, but now I just need to smooth everything and make sure there's no sharp spots. So I'm going to sand and file and make sure this is smooth before we drill holes. All we're doing now is fine touching, smoothing really slowly with a fine file, making sure there's no sharp edges, that these round corners are very smooth.
Alright, the hardest part's done, and that is to shape these, to cut them to length and round the edges and make sure they're not sharp. And these are real smooth, so they also are the right length for placement of the rod holders. So right now I just have to find out where I need to drill holes and do some drilling. This is actually a critical step because you want to know where on the frame you're going to mount this, because you might not want it center. Like, I think mine's going to need to be offset a little bit, so I'm going to set this on my raft and I'm going to choose where it's going to mount and mark where I need to have my hole. Alright, I think this is where I want it. You can see it's not center, but I want to have my rods go. This is the seat here, and I don't want it to hit the oars or that camera mount. I want them to basically go straight up right next to the oars. And so right now that's where I'm going to try it. So I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole here, and if I don't like it, I can always drill another hole and move it over. So I think we're going to give it a try.
Just got some new drill bits, so from Harbor Freight, which surprisingly they have some very good value. So basically I'm looking at what size drill bit goes through here, and it looks like it's 3/16 is a tight fit. Sweet. Alright, now we need to find hardware, the right hardware to bolt it to these. Alright, and we want something low profile, so let's see what we got here.
Okay, we're at the hardware store picking up our hardware, starting with these two 3/8 inch bolts, 1 inch long, along with lock washers and nylon stop nuts. These are all stainless steel, and here is a parts list for you. Okay, now we're getting down to the smaller screws. We're using size 10/24, and there's actually two different lengths of bolt because of something I'm going to show you here, and here's the reason why. One side's a little thicker, so I'm going to do 10/24 by 3/4. The other side's a little thinner, so 10/24 by 5/8, I believe. 10/24 by 5/8 is the shorter one. 10/24 by 3/4 is the longer one. But of course, I'm going to show you a complete parts list right here. You got to get some lock washers also and some nylon lock nuts. Alright, we finally finished the work. All we got to do now is assemble this rod holder. You can see that I'm using these 3/8 bolts, and one of the tips I want to let you know is that you want to tighten these down really tight. If you do not tighten them really tight, they can kind of move around as you're out there moving your raft around. So wrench those down. That lock washer and that nut should tighten it down real good. Then you just got to put these small little hardware on here, and same thing. You don't want to tighten these down too tight because you don't want to break the plastic, but cinch them down nice and tight. And that's really all you need.
That's it.
And it's ready to go.
It's going to clamp right on. Excellent. I know this is hard to read, but it says if you're using 1.6.25 tube diameters like I am, cut off 2 lines from the flat rubber insert side and combine it with a C-shape rubber insert.
Okay, like those instructions say, just cut off 2 little notches. You put that in that clamp, and that's going to tighten it up perfectly for that tube at 1.625 inches. Then you just need to find where on your raft you need to tighten it down and tighten those screws down. Wow, we are done. What a fun adventure. This thing is so convenient to be able to store your rods on your raft and to help them not to fall out of the boat. So I hope you guys like these. I hope you're going to give this project a try. I'm going to show you a little demo on the water, but thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Hey guys, I want to show you the rod holder. So that is it. You can see it's clamped in there. Holds 4 rods, right? The butts of them are there. And then they sit just like that, right on the side of the boat. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it so that the rod tips are facing back. That way the passenger won't break the tips. If I swap the position of these, the rod butts will go here, the tips go out the back of the boat, and nobody can accidentally make a mistake. Well, yeah, that's it. Very pleased with how it looks. Make yourself your own rod holders.